next presenter is Shu Ning, and her title of the presentation is called Empowered to Create, the Therapeutic Use of Digital Media by an Adolescent with Cerebral Palsy. Shu Ning is an art therapist who currently works with patients and residents in a community hospital and nursing home. She strives to respond and engage with individuals and the community in creative and innovative ways through the therapeutic and life-enhancing qualities of art, and finds immense creative potential while working in the virtual realm with her clients who have physical disabilities. Shu Ning.
Hello, a very good afternoon from Singapore to all. My name is Shu Ning, and I will be sharing with you today my key findings on the therapeutic use of digital media in art therapy in the context of my work with an adolescent with cerebral palsy. It is an undeniable fact, reality in the 21st century, that technology has infiltrated into nearly every aspect of our lives. And with increasingly easy to use and affordable technologies available, and with the receptiveness of younger clients to technology, there is growing interest and attention between digital media and art therapy. And these two technologies you see on screen right now are examples that illustrate how art forms that exist in digital and virtual realms have rapidly expanded the boundaries of materials that are used for artistic expression. For example, on the left, that's artist Sarah Ezekiel. Her experience in using the Tobii eye gaze and Tobii PCI assistive technologies has allowed her to paint with her eye movements, giving her a new lease of life after experiencing long-term disability and social isolation due to motor neuron disease. Historically, the use of digital media in art therapy goes back to the 70s. Since then, digital media have been adopted by many art therapists in their work with diverse populations, and especially so with adolescents. Today, art therapists at the forefront of incorporating digital media in art therapy have continued to push the envelope and implement increasingly innovative and creative ways of art making. For example, through the use of animation, even like Din just now, light painting, photography, green screen, stop motion, and virtual reality. A study by Thong, art therapist, she presented similar characteristics that traditional art making tools shared with computer art in the domains of drawing, painting, sculpture, photography, and even collage, and affirmed that there was no correlation in the level of creativity of a child and the medium he or she chooses to use. Art therapist McNiff perceived the greatest advantage of digital art making as beneficial to individuals with physical challenges. Digital media offers art therapists the opportunity to reach more individuals who may find it challenging to manipulate traditional art materials. And while digital media offers us many exciting and life-enhancing qualities, it has its drawbacks, as with any artistic medium. But essentially, digital media does not preclude work with traditional materials and should be understood within the continuum of all media options in art therapy. Technology and digital media lend itself well, especially with the generation known as the millennials. Millennials have grown up immersed in the hardware and software of the day with a panoply of devices at their fingertips. And for the majority of our youth in Singapore, the ownership and consumption of digital media has also become a badge of generational membership, a critical component of identity formation. And when working with individuals with physical disabilities within the context of art therapy, part of the art therapy process is to ultimately move the individual towards acceptance of his or her disability, and also reconcile feelings or any fantasies about it. In order to enhance the capacity for expressiveness of individuals with disabilities, it is often necessary to also adapt and accommodate suitable art materials and techniques to facilitate inclusion, provide opportunities for expressive communications, as well as experiences of normalization. So I've had the privilege of working with Cody, an 18-year-old Chinese male adolescent who has spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy. So his 4 extremities are, there's narrow control of all 4 extremities. Like his hand could only extend this much away from his body. So that was in my context of working at a special student care center as an student intern when I was studying at LaSalle. So Cody is a wheelchair user. He has good receptive language skills, but limited expressive language. Cody was first referred to art therapy as he frequently refused participation in classroom group activities. And he later revealed that one of the reasons why he didn't engage in art activities in class was because he loves cleanliness, and the sink was just too high, out of access for him, yeah. And also, as Cody would be graduating from the formal school system that year, art therapy was also recommended to ensure psychological preparedness for the coming transition. Cody enjoys playing games on his iPad, watching Disney animation on YouTube, and listening to Spotify. My first impression of Cody was a memorable one. He was playing a game on his iPad while the rest of his peers were taking their afternoon naps. I introduced myself to him, and he responded by exiting the gaming app, and he entered and augmented an alternative communications app, and with a push of a few buttons, an electronic voice that sounds almost like this spoke. Oops.
My name is Cody.
So as an individual challenged by decreased ease and range of movement, the use of the communication app was a vital engagement and communication tool for Cody. Cody had a positive disposition overall and was self-directed in art making. And together we explored the domains of digital collage, digital painting, some simple video editing, storytelling, as well as animation. Cody was introduced to the full range of art making materials, traditional art materials, during his first 2 initial art therapy sessions. And with great effort and perseverance, he created these 2 artworks. The first one was in response to a free drawing. He made a picture of a race car. The second one was of a collage to introduce himself. His love for cars, speed, and superheroes were recurrent themes in his subsequent sessions to come. Due to his limited mobility and weak fine and gross motor skills, he often required my third-hand intervention when it became too strenuous or cumbersome to manipulate the art materials independently. And the use of pencils and erasers, or even the scissors, was felt to be cumbersome. So Cody would move and use my auxiliary hand like that. So this would be Cody's hand, and he'll move my hand to indicate where he would like me to put his collage images on the paper. Cody's impairment in speech, however, did not deter his ability to share more about himself. He enjoyed talking about himself. And as early as our first session together, he would frequently refer to his pictures in his camera roll on his iPad, sharing memories, feelings, and stories. Cody also spontaneously took picture with his iPad of both his artwork after the session, which he immediately cropped to his liking. The challenges encountered by Cody in the manipulation of conventional art materials were observed to impede his ability to engage in independent art making during the initial phase of therapy. This observation, coupled with my background in design and visual communications, prompted my inquiry into the use of digital media as a potential means of supporting and improving the art-making experience for Cody. And by introducing digital media, I was interested to find out about the therapeutic benefits of digital media and how technology and the use of digital art forms could enhance the therapeutic experience during individual art therapy. So Cody was highly receptive towards the idea of using an iPad for art making in session 3, where he was encouraged to identify his own strengths. So Cody explored the painting app independently after my demonstration and attempted his first digital drawing of red wheels against a black background to illustrate his strength in controlling his motorized wheelchair. He then paused, not knowing how to proceed with the drawing. Art therapist Nancy Coe recommended the use of digital art making on an iPad for clients who may benefit from using their own images or pictures. As Cody had been constantly referring to his personal images on his iPad in his sharing and communication, I invited him to use his pictures in his artwork to get in touch with his personal narrative. And since the creation of a collage required little technical skills, it can be used to encourage creativity and reduce superego demands on performance. When Cody could not find an existing image on his iPad to illustrate his skills in typing, he allowed me to capture his hands while he typed and was able to use the image immediately in his digital collage. The technological quality of immediacy was therefore beneficial in this case. When art therapy resumed after the month-long December holidays, Cody recounted his trip to the Avengers exhibition at the Science Center and shared photographs and videos, as usual, but this time of the Hulkbuster experience. Without my prompting, he selected all the images and video footages he wanted to airdrop from his iPad onto mine, and was ready to begin. And to ensure that he was able to incorporate both video footages and still imageries in his artwork, I introduced him to a simple video editor, which has an intuitive user interface that included a library of motion stickers, text, and stems labels, allowing Cody to introduce expressive animated effects to video footages without technical skills in animation. Cody's Hulkbuster experience at the Science Center was powerful and profound on many levels. Through augmented reality and live motion tracking, Cody, who was on a wheelchair, was able to don the virtual Iron Man suit and subsequently explained Cody the stronger Hulkbuster suit, an armor that Iron Man puts on to counter the Hulk to attain superhero power and strength. When Iron Man reappeared in the bulkier Hulkbuster suit, Cody typed his name in red, as if to suggest that he has become one with Iron Man. On the top left corner on the screen, that's the image. So Cody recounted feeling really cool as he put on the virtual armor as he could kill bad guys. Cody admired Iron Man's ability to summon his suits and fly, and reflected that if he could fly, he would neither need to take the school bus nor depend on anybody to carry him during transfers. The playback function of the video also encouraged self-confrontation and supports the potential for realistic self-evaluation. Through video editing, Cody was able to reflect on both his need for support and wish to be more independent, as well as to reconcile feelings and fantasies about his disabilities. Cody's self-reflection about his disability was crucial, as according to Winnicott, the integration of one's disability into his or her own identity develops a true self which affects the adolescent body image and self-image. Finally, Cody, who loves music, decided to put on a rock music for his video after going through a selection of songs in the music library. And as he watched his video play for the first time, Cody beamed and squealed with excitement and went, "Oh yeah," and bobbed his head to the music. By session 11, Cody was observed to be creating this painting on the Procreate digital painting app, quietly and independently for 45 minutes, rarely needing my third hand at this point. He spoke about his feelings towards his impending graduation and some plans after leaving school. This image was his attempt at representing his future. It was one that was uncertain. He did not know where he will be going, but one thing for sure, he hoped that he would still be best of friends with the best friend from school. So Cody reported that in comparison to traditional paint medium, he did not have to physically do this, dip his brushes into the paint. Cody even found the app easy to use. All he needed was a single finger. Cody was excited when he had discovered a shortcut to the eyedropper tool, which allowed him to toggle between colors. He was confident and also decided to activate the layer option after my demonstration. Cody spontaneously added his personal image into the app next, illustrating how he had grown accustomed to this unique art-making process of using his own images in his artwork as a means to express and communicate his experiences. Cody took full control of the art-making process, and being in control in such a manner, this experience could also positively translate into other aspects of his life. A unique feature of the Procreate app was the playback function, was the recording and the playback function of the art-making process. During the playback, Cody saw a race car. So the playback function also encouraged Cody to describe what he was thinking at the point of creation. He explained that the hole in the middle served the function of holding the image of him and his best friend. The playback captured Cody's repeated use of the erase and undo function till he was satisfied with the outcome. The use of digital media was therefore able to offer security to Cody and eliminate some of the earlier frustrations that came with the use of traditional materials and tools such as the eraser, the paintbrush, and even the pencil. And this digital playback uncovers the art-making process to ensure that such details are not missed in real-time observation. As Cody often showed me clips of his Disney animation that he watches on his iPad, digital storytelling through the animation app Puppet Pals made therapeutic sense and was presented to Cody as an intervention that encouraged storytelling and pretend play. We worked on a text-based storyboard before we began on an animation that took a total of 4 sessions to complete. Without further ado, I would like to present to you Cody's animation.
There once was a policeman named Cody. He was a good policeman and helped everybody. He had a cool police car. That traveled on both land and sea. He received a call from Angela and Janice the mermaid one day. Cody, we need your help. A bad guy stole our wallets, handphones, and violins. Don't need to be scared. I will help you to stop the bad guy with my handcuffs. I'm coming down. Hello, I'm Cody. How can I help? Where is the bad guy? That way. Cody the policeman meets the bad guy. Stop! Give me back all the things you stole, or I will shoot you, handcuff you, and bring you to jail. No way, said the bad guy as he ran away in his yellow submarine. He escaped from the ocean and arrived at Pasay Ris. Cody the policeman overtook the bad guy all the way. Stop now! I'm going to take you to the jail. Get off your car now. Cody the policeman called for a lorry. I give up, and alright, I will give you back all the wallets, handphones, and violins. Cody the policeman caught the bad guy with his handcuffs and took him to jail. Cody returned to the sea and met Angela and Janice the mermaid. Thanks for returning us our things. Would you like to play? Sure, I have time. What would you like to play? Cody and the mermaids played a game of hide and seek. Angela the mermaid counted to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and searched for her friends. There you are. Aha! The mermaid said goodbye to Cody the policeman. We had fun with you. See you next time when we need you. Cody the policeman went back to the police station and worked on his computer before going to bed. The end.
To summarize, this is the story of Cody, the helpful policeman, who helped save the day by sending a bad guy to jail for stealing the handphones, wallets, and violins of the two mermaids, which he later identified as his two younger sisters in real life. Through the directing, editing, and manipulation of his on-screen self-representation, Cody was able to enter a potential space where all things are possible. When he returned the mermaids their stolen belongings and was invited to play a game of hide and seek, Cody's desire to reach out and feel needed and helpful by his sisters was played out. When he reflected that he would appreciate more playtime with them in real life, as he often felt very lonely and as they would be either busy with their own homework or play amongst themselves. Yeah. And furthermore, Cody also lived apart from his parents and his younger sisters during weekdays. So through the safety of the story, Cody was able to imagine his interactions with his younger sisters and express and explore his loneliness within the safety of the therapeutic space. The policeman character was essentially Cody's avatar and projection of self through character play. His policeman alter ego used his resources and engaged in the heroic act of confronting and overcoming the bad guy in order to render help to the mermaids. The animation allowed Cody to gain psychological relief by offering containment for unconscious, repressed, or denied emotions. The playback function allowed Cody to revisit his creative choices and process them when he felt comfortable. He paused at a scene of Cody, the policeman with the police car, and started to describe how his wheelchair, motorized wheelchair, was like his car. We then discussed the possibilities of adaptive driving, which encouraged Cody to imagine a future where he could possibly realize his dream despite his physical challenges. The nature of digital media fostered collaborative decision-making process between the both of us, since we had to work collaboratively towards the materialization of the animation. The process also strengthened our therapeutic alliance. And through the relatively lengthy process of creation, positive developmental skills and tasks such as perseverance, frustration tolerance, and delayed gratification were encouraged. The completion of the animation further promoted a sense of achievement, self-efficacy, and increased ego strength in Cody. The mobility of the animated product allowed Cody to share it with his classmates and teachers at school, where he received compliments and validation for his abilities and creativity. When Cody told me his wishes of sharing the animation with his peers, we discussed implications of doing so, of revealing his animation to others, and the potential risks that would entail if he were to post it online or if he were to receive any negative comments. So with this full understanding, Cody decided to do it, and he came back the next time reporting on how the experience had been for him. The creation of the animation, however, was not one without challenges. In Cody's final post-production session, the app had crashed and failed to save his work. Cody was frustrated and uttered "fire" and a bad word, and expressed how he felt like punching the iPad. So this inability to work aggressively with the digital media for fear of damaging the device, as highlighted in many literature, had proven to be an inevitable shortcoming of the digital medium. However, this also presented us with an opportunity to turn fire into fuel, for affect regulation, for problem solving, for Cody to gain a better sense of control in face of his frustration, gaining a sense of ego mastery. Cody's anger was acknowledged, and the limitations of the media were discussed. Cody later felt emboldened to tell me, "I have an idea," which eventually led to the resolution of the problem as we explored his suggested solution. As illustrated through my case study, the expressive potential of digital media has this therapeutic value, and by capitalizing on Cody's interest in gaming, technology, and use of the iPad for communication, for homework, for education, and by providing a parallel, person-centered experience through technology in art therapy, Cody's motivation to engage and express himself through the creative process was enhanced. I hope my presentation has given you a glimpse as to how you may incorporate or build digital media into your own clinical work. And I encourage all to continue to assume curiosity and to continue to build upon your digital literacy to maintain cultural competence and relevance of the arts therapies profession. With that, I've come to the end of my presentation. It was a great honor to be able to share, so thank you so much.